You're listening to another Geek Pride podcast.
Hi everybody, Matt Geary for the Geek Pride cast on this Tuesday evening, and I am joined by two gentlemen who have not been on this podcast for a long time. We have David Foy.
How's it going?
And as always, Mike Orvis.
You just said that I haven't been on there for a long time. Now you're saying "and as always." You're a confusing, you're a confusing, hypocritical gentleman, and I will always be a mixture of annoyed, upset, and aroused by you.
There's a lot of beard going on in this podcast today.
Fuck yeah, there is.
Yeah,
actually.
Yeah, there is.
Ooh.
Dave, your beard's looking pretty mighty. In fact,
Thank you.
I feel that it may be a challenge to Michael's.
Oh, fucking go nuts! Like I've trimming this bad boy. I'm trying to just hide the 17 chins. There's not been a lot of beard maintenance going on recently.
Aww.
I've just let myself go really badly over the past few months. It was actually longer. I did trim it a little bit, but yeah. The wife likes it. The wife likes it, so that's all.
I get like that with my hair. I'll just grow my hair out, and then like if I'm just in like a shitty mood, it's normally over winter where I get like acute SAD, and I just grow my hair out. I'm like, yeah, it's cool. Like it's really nice and Viking, and like yeah, it's nice. And then I'm just like, I catch myself in the mirror. I'm like, what am I doing? And it goes back to looking like a chubby Dave Grohl.
All right.
It looks good. It looks good.
So what has everybody been up to? So Dave, what have you been up to? It's been a while. What have you been doing?
Been ages, yeah. What have I been up to? Working. In terms of geek-related stuff, actually this weekend we were at the Belfast Universe, the Ulster University Minicon.
Oh, okay.
Which is a group of local sort of geeks and cosplayers have got together and decided to pull together their own mini convention now, with the hope that it sort of takes off.
Whereabouts is that?
It's just the Ulster University, just in Belfast. So it really good, really good. It's been on the last few years, sort of starting to build up a bit of a following, but it's obviously they're trying to do something now that MCM have obviously pulled out of Northern Ireland, and Showmasters have basically cut their coverage of Northern Ireland down to like a day from the usual weekend. So people are just sort of trying to get together and pull together and do their own thing here, seeing as none of the major companies want to do anything in Northern Ireland anymore.
Well, I suppose if there's a gap there in the market, then you might as well do it and stuff. But it's a shame. It's a big shame that they're not going to do that in Northern Ireland anymore. Are they still doing it in Dublin?
They're still doing it in Dublin, yeah. I think their hope is they're just going to try and combine everything into one All Ireland convention. Which, hey, if it works, that's great. But the problem is, obviously, Ireland as a country is pretty big, so you're not really going to get a lot of people who maybe want to travel the whole way down to Dublin for a convention, Yeah. But it's just been a slow death. I mean, the Showmasters one, which is in, I think it's in April. They've announced like 2 guests for it, and it's some random kid who was on like Doctor Who or some random guy who was in Doctor Who in like the 1970s for like 1 episode, and some extra from Game of Thrones, and that's it. Whereas the London Film and Comic Con, like have announced like nearly 100 people. 100 guests, so it's
but Showmasters can suck a massive dick because they couldn't organize a piss up in a brewery. Literally the worst convention organizers either. And I was party to Blackpool Comic Con. They are literally the worst.
Wow.
So, awful, just awful.
Last said about Blackpool.
I never ended up actually writing about it, but I attended last year's London Film and Comic Con, and it was an absolute fucking shambles. They weren't allowing press to go to any of the talks, or interview any of the stars, or take pictures. So why the hell were we there?
Yeah, I suppose they're getting to the point. I think they're getting to the point now where they know that people will come. They don't need the publicity and stuff, so press is just a nuisance. And they've always been about the money. They've always been out the rum dum dum din dum. So.
Yeah.
You know,
brings a new meaning to the phrase "con," doesn't it?
I actually really I enjoyed certain aspects of the London Film and Comic Con. Just the fact that I'd never been to a con of that size. Just being stuck in the shitty little ones that we had before in Northern Ireland. So it was great being there, and it was great sort of, the range of guests that were there. For me, being a wrestling fan, it was nice having a couple of sort of wrestlers there. And,
yeah, William Regal was there, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was great. I met him. It was awesome. But yeah, it was nice having that sort of range of guests, whereas it was just all, you're right, I mean, it was just money left, right, and center. The amount of stalls, it was a great range of stalls, but everything was super expensive. Trying to meet the guests was just an arm and a leg. And then the thing that really surprised me was the talks. I think again, just any of the cons I've been to, the talks are all free. You can just go in. You can go in and grab a chair whenever they're about to start. Needing to actually pay the guts of £20-30 just to hear, I know, Kevin Smith talk for 10-15 minutes or any of the stars, it just seemed overkill.
They let me into the Will Wheaton talk, and it was kind of the biggest juxtaposition of what was going on, because Will gave this talk about how being a nerd is something to be proud of, and kind of the same ethos as Geek Pride. You've got to all come together and band together, and this is about celebrating that, and it's all about the fans. And if it wasn't for the fans, then none of these guys would be here. And and then the minute that talk's done, I'm ushered out of the room and gone, oh, you can't come here anymore. You can't cover these events. You can't spread the good word and hang out with these guys. And it's just like, okay, I guess I won't fucking write about you then. Get screwed.
Yeah, it was slightly bit of a travesty, to be honest. I was just getting sort of annoyed phone calls and texts from you when I was at Play Expo, and I was this was just like, and I felt really bad for you, man, because the whole thing.
I got drunk on a train.
Yeah,
that's how bad it was. I literally, there's a Tesco's across from where place is. I went over, bought 5 beers, downed 3 of them by the time I got on the second train, and then was in for a penny. Had the other 2 beers, got home, and was just had a sad drunk nap watching Power Rangers. It was fucking glorious.
Before we move on, just because I'm slightly mindful because my computer was pissing around when we first started about audio, can somebody just check the Facebook feed just to see if it sounds the audio?
Checking it. Give me a sec.
Just the sound, if it sounds the levels are equal, or are you guys too loud? Am I too loud, or whatever?
It's working fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
It sounds grand. Sounds good.
You sound fine.
Yep.
Yeah, it sounds fine to me.
Cool. We can carry on then.
We should, just do a 3-part harmony.
Talking about 3-part harmonies, right? Hello. I was in Great Yarmouth. I was in Great Yarmouth this weekend. Where they all talk like that, and it's basically kind of like Blackpool, but yeah, it's kind of like Blackpool. My missus was kind of going on about how it's Blackpool, but it's better, but it's not. It's just kind of like Blackpool, so basically we're there to see her dad. Got super drunk on the first night. Had to carry her dad home, and then
you're in when you drink with her dad.
Yeah. So did that, and then and the last night they had this there's not a lot in Great Yarmouth really. So we went to this pub, and they had karaoke, and there was me and Louise and a guy and a gal at the bar. The karaoke guy, he was singing, and his mate, he was singing as well because nobody else was singing. There was an old, gnarled, sort of angry-looking chap at the bar, and some other old dude with tattoos. And they're all like, "Come on, people sing." And my missus is like, "Oh, please, why don't you sing?" I was like, "Louise, can't sing." She's like, "Oh, you can." I said, "Louise, I can't sing." And she's all like, "Oh, you can." So,
oh, you will. You will.
You will. So I went up and I did "Fuck Her Gently" by Tenacious D in Great Yarmouth. In Great Yarmouth. I did it in Great Yarmouth, and I swear to God, man, I'll say the crowd You know, the applause from the five people there. I was expecting to get kicked out, but the DJ, well, not the DJ, the guy who was doing the karaoke came in. We said, "Mate, I am so glad I set up tonight because that was worth it." And I was like, brilliant. And he actually filmed me, so there's probably something flying around Great Yarmouth. This random Irishman coming in and fucking singing "Fucker Gently." So yeah, that was rather amusing. So
I've been playing a game with song lyrics recently where you're just in conversation and then you start saying the song lyrics like you're wrapping up at the end of a news segment. Then you say your name, the news place that you're from, and then like the area. So I'll give you an example. We're no strangers to love. You know the rules, and so do I. Mike Orvis, BBC News, Great Yarmouth. And I don't know why, but like that's been really tickling me. My mate Graham. We'll be playing Warframe, and I'll get to that in a minute. We'll be playing Warframe, and then he'll just come on and be like, I don't know, I can't think of any. They call me Mr. Lover Lover, Mr. Lover Lover. Graham Waller. ITV News. And it's just a fun game that you can all play.
Okay, let's try it. All right,
go on then. You start then.
Okay, so you don't always have to fuck her hard. In fact, sometime that's not right to do. Matt Geary for BBC News, Manchester.
See? It's
Very good. Very good.
just the more seriously you take it, the better it is. Right, James, you'll go.
Okay. There's no easy way out. There's no shortcut home. There's no easy way out. Giving in can't be wrong. No. David Foy, Channel 4 News, Belfast.
So I went for Channel 4. Good. I like that news. Yeah.
Come, my lady. Come, my lady. You're my butterfly, sugar, baby. This ITV News. Jasmine.
Fuck. Suck. Fuck. Matt Geary. BBC News. Oh no, this is going to become a thing now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
I do this all the time. Yeah. It's just part of the way that I keep saying at work.
Oh. We should do it at the end of every podcast. We should come up with the most extreme one we can. I'm busy googling Cannibal Corpse lyrics here.
Amazing. Okay.
Someone's made a thing. Were you about to segue into this?
No.
Or am I stealing your limelight?
Nope.
All right. John Kendall says, "What do you think about Amacon?" I don't know what that is, mate. Organisation skills at failing to secure enough accommodation for ticket holders and then price it over 360 quid. All conventions are cons. Don't go to them.
No, don't. I will disagree with that.
So that you can meet the celebrity on a one-to-one basis. That's follow your dreams. Is what I'm saying.
I will disagree with that. Not all cons are cons. I enjoy the MCM ones. I have never been to a bad MCM. I enjoy them.
You've had a bad experience at MCM.
I love, just bar really bad hangovers. I've had a really great time at MCM. And Play Expo in Manchester, always great.
Deadpool cosplayers. Are you kidding me? I had to hip check a Deadpool cosplayer because he jumped out and attacked me with his foam sword. The one I went to in 2015, and he was like, "You can't hit me," and I was like, "Don't fucking attack randoms, then, you prick." That was that was my con experience, and I had to walk behind. Firstly, no one fucking walks at a speed that is acceptable. Secondly, that they were honestly they were these girls. They were walking in front of me. They've got to have been 15, 16, and that doesn't forgive the blasphemy that came out of their mouths. They started talking about Sheik from the Legend of Zelda series, and they're like, "Oh, Zelda's Sheik, isn't she? Oh yeah, no, Sheik's a guy. Oh well, that doesn't matter." And then they started going, "Well, who is Sheik?" And then they started going on about it. And then one of them's got her phone out and she's Googling it. And she's like, "Oh, it's from one of the old games. It doesn't matter." And I was like...
The rage. By the way, gentlemen, my mother's watching right now. So mind your P's and Q's. Don't say fuck and or cunt. So.
Hello, Mrs. Gary.
Hi, Mrs. Geary. I hope you're having a good time.
Oh man, seriously, my brother winds up. Well, actually, we all do. We've got a little family group chat on WhatsApp,
Okay.
and it's literally every day is how you can wind my posh mother up. Like, it's sending horrible things. She's like, no, stop it. She doesn't like them downloading onto her phone because sometimes she shows it to people by mistake, and then she's got.
The hell you sending her? Jesus
I
Christ.
mean, some hilarious
Video.
stuff.
I was sent a video by my really he's pretty tame. Like, he's a pretty tame dude. He's on the level, right? We don't really make the kind of like filthy sex jokes or anything like this. And he sent me a video of a dude, like, it's the bit from Living on a Prayer, where it's like, you gotta hold on to what we got, another make a difference if we make it or not. Whoa! Right? But at the point where it goes, whoa! There was a dude getting kicked in the balls really hard.
I've seen that one.
Where the song drops, it's like, boom! You hear boom, and he goes, ah! We're halfway there! And then he gets hit again, he's like, ah! Living on a prayer! I'm like, what the fuck? And I was like, fine, getting sent that, I guess. But it was like the dude who sent it to me. I'm like, why? How did you acquire this? Why have you sent it to me? There was no context. You just went and sent me this. I'm like, oh, all right, cool.
But that's the thing is, where do you get these things? Like, I've got a guy who sends me some pretty dodgy stuff. Like, half the time I don't open it because it's just like, fucking hell, man.
That group chat that I imagine you are part of and have.
It's just fucking grim. Like,
That's a yes.
Yeah.
That's a yes. Like,
no.
right. He's part of a
So-
lads.
I do have we've got a stag do. I have a stag do one, which is just pure sort of like Archbishop of Banterbury type stuff.
You're fucking lads.
lads. Okay, so Daniel P guy whose second name we can never pronounce properly. Says Perowski. Is it?
Oh.
We keep on saying to him every time he comes in, we're saying, dude, send us an audio message with your second name so we can get it right for once.
Gary's just got a second name fetish. I'm going to be honest. Don't send him that file. You don't want to know what to do with it.
Hi guys, have you checked out Altered Carbon on Netflix? Yeah, it's amazing. Loved it.
Yeah. Is it good?
Yeah, really enjoyed. Like, obviously, have not read the books, which I found myself in a bit of a juxtaposition with Mr. Haig, because he'd actually read the books and was moaning about it not being like the books, and it was kind of like Game of Thrones with me. So it was just like I'm sitting there kind of just watching the series and going, yeah, it's really good and loving it, and he's moaning about it because it's not the same as the books.
What was the first time that happened to you? Do you remember the first time, like you'd read a book about something and then you'd seen like an adaptation and you went, that's not like the fucking book. Because I know exactly when that happened for me.
My first one was, because this is really super nerdy, but Sharp, because I used to read the Sharp novels. And
your Sharp obsession.
Sean Bean, man, what can I say? Sharp novels, and then obviously they bring in on the ITV series, and as much as I love Sean Bean, I was like, whoa, this didn't happen in the books. What about Sharp Siege? What happened to the American captain? What's he? He's not even in this. What's going on? So yeah.
Excellent. What about you, Dave?
Oh Jesus! Random one with World War Z.
Oh yeah.
Just an absolute waste of a fantastic book.
Yeah.
So pissed off when they didn't sort of follow along the sort of the structure of the book. Yeah, that's probably the only one I can really think of. To be honest, I'm really not that fixated on a certain novel series that I get really pissed off when they don't follow everything to a T. I don't know. Not like Matt and his obsession with Game of Thrones.
It's not an obsession.
Oh.
I just like things the way I like them.
Come on.
It's just, and what's really annoyed me is that The Winds of Winter has been postponed fucking again. He's not.
Shocker.
God fucking damn it. Do you know
Just take his fucking Twinkies away, cancel his Netflix subscription, sit him in a room and tell him to fucking crack on with it.
He doesn't give a fuck anymore. All he cares about is all the money that he's just got. He's just like, holy shit, wait a minute, so I don't even have to finish this book, and you guys are just going to finish it for me and pay me fuck tons of money? Yeah, I'll do that. And it's just like, dude, get the fucking on with it. It's like, god damn it. You know, you got 2 books to go, and it took you like 6 years. We're on year 7, I think, for this one, and it's just like, there's no way I'm waiting another 7 years for the last book to come out, seriously, because the series will have been gone and dead.
Well, that's a brilliant move. That's a brilliant move. You finish off the TV series, and then you let the hype kind of die down, and then you start the hype train of George R.R. Martin is writing a different ending to the Game of Thrones series. And then, you know, you get angry nerds on both sides going, the book should have come out years ago. And then you get the people that are obsessed with the TV going, well, we've got an ending and it surpassed the book. So, and then like everyone will kick off about it. The normies will get interested and then everyone will buy the book. It'll be like a fantasy 50 Shades of Grey. Like everyone will buy it for the sake of buying it. And only half of them will read it if you're lucky.
Well, I mean, and the fact that the series is there, it's still, you know, uber successful. It's keeping it in the public consciousness for him. So he's probably just looking on it going, well, fuck it. What's the point in rushing? The show's going to keep on going. I know this is the last series, but there'll probably be, you know, there's talk of, you know, a second series, a follow-up, or a prequel series coming out. It'll keep it in the public consciousness for a while. Yeah, I'll just give him more and more time he's
writing
to finish
books
the book
about the Lannisters or something at the minute. It's like, dude, fucking ignore that shit, finish the fucking thing, and then go back and do all that shit. I don't give a fuck about the Lannisters and what they did fucking in the first age of men. I don't care. All I want to know is who the fuck ends up on the throne, and if it's going to be a bittersweet, horrible ending that will make me happy because it'll fuck with people's heads. I want to get that book and just go, what the fuck just happened? And just fucking throw it down. I want to be that angry at the end of that book. That's
I reckon it'll be Conan.
Yeah, Conan.
Just out of nowhere. Like, just a soft reboot for Conan with Arnie as, like, old Conan, who just rocks up and be like, what have I missed? And he just starts punching dragons in the face, left, right, and centre, and stabbing people in the heart and being like, no, no, and just on his own. Not even with an army, just Arnie on his own in a wig, just punching folks in the face. That's what I want.
He's doing a Western or something at the minute.
What?
Yeah, Arnie's doing a Western at the minute.
Amazing.
It's kind of reminiscent of him being in that blue cowboy suit from back in the day.
Cactus Jack.
Yeah. That's his first cut. He's doing a cowboy film.
Do you feel lucky?
Stranger.
Yeah, do you, punk?
Got a lot of people messaging on the Facebook here, so I'll do a few quick shout outs. Mr. Buckingham, wow. Haven't talked to you in a while, sir. Welcome. Miss is Buckingham as well. What do we got here? So, Phil Cochran on Facebook says, for me, it was Stephen King's It compared to the Jack Nicholson film.
Oh, does he mean The Shining? Or?
Very confused.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm kind of confused.
Yeah.
I think you mean The Shining.
An enigma, Phil.
The Shining.
I think The Shining. Obviously, in the book, they didn't talk about the sort of kind of child orgy in the film. That didn't happen.
There is that.
Always
good when a film misses out a child orgy, I find.
Yeah. There you go.
John Kendall wants to know, are you going to build the Man Cave 2.0 when you move?
Yes, I'm moving house. I actually got an offer in my house today. So they
a shiny button.
Ready?
Yeah, they offered. Yeah, it's been up for a week and a half, and it's already got an offer. Had 3 viewings and got an offer. Slightly lower than I wanted, not loads more. It's the first offer, so I reckon I can get what I want. But yeah, it's only been on a week and a half, so I'm in that position where I'm like, do I accept it, or do I kind of just go, whoa, wait a minute? If they're that if they want it now, then maybe more people might want it or whatever. I don't know. So I've never sold a house before.
How much below is it? Your
$5,000.
You're starting on
$5,000 more.
What is this? What are we doing? What has this turned into? Like, what?
Homes under the hammer.
People are here to talk about films. You're like, I'm very rich. Look at my house.
Okay, I'm getting a new man cave.
What's going on? No one
basically
your house, Gary.
Back to the man cave.
Yes, back to the man cave. Yeah.
Are you going to build a cave? Yes or no?
Back in the man cave. If I get the house that we want, depending on internet coverage and stuff, it's 24 by 24 feet. It's fucking huge. It's double the size of this. So yes.
That's if Louise lets you.
She will. She will. She will. You know the rules here. So yes, Phil Crocken says it was The Shining, not it. So yeah.
Good job.
Mr. Buckingham says we saw the second Percy Jackson movie in the cinema, and she, as in Mrs. Buckingham, tore a new one. Less than 10 minutes into it, she was livid the whole way through.
Never seen it.
Yeah, not seen it.
Never
You know what? The first one, I think I read half of the book. It was. I had Harry Potter, so I didn't need Percy Jackson.
Right. Okay. Right. We're going to quickly move on, and we can talk about other random stuff. But recently, we had nominations for our best of 2017. Obviously, in previous podcasts, we were talking about it. But all the votes are in, and we have basically got our results throughout.
I missed it.
So we're going to go through some of them, what the results are, and look for commentary by all means if you want to jump in.
All right, this bad boy open. Give me a second.
Right. So first up, so we had best gaming platform. First we got PlayStation 4, then second PC, and then third Xbox.
That is the correct. That is correct.
Well, I was kind of looking at it. The Xbox and Microsoft, they're kind of this PC. They're kind of the same thing. So if you put them together, then they're better. Yeah, but yeah, PlayStation.
If it was the same thing, they wouldn't build a console, would they?
Yeah, PlayStation. Ran away with it. 34.
Better exclusive.
34.5%.
Doesn't crash as much. Better support. Better backwards compatibility. Better frame rates. It's just a better console. And I don't want to shit on Xbox One. Xbox One is fine, but you know, I bought a PlayStation purely because of the exclusives, and everything seems to run better on it.
Yeah, I have to admit, Xbox have been lacking somewhat when it comes to exclusives and stuff. I'm kind of hoping, because obviously I've got the Xbox One X, the Scorpio edition. My beautiful girlfriend bought me it for Christmas, so I've got that. So I'm kind of hoping there'll be some good exclusives coming out soon, and a new Halo, hopefully.
So how many Xboxes is that you own?
Three.
So
I got 3.
you own 3 Xbox Ones.
Yes. And
right,
and two
take two of them into CEX.
Yeah.
And trade them over for a PS4.
Fuck you.
I have a PS4 and an Xbox.
No, I have nailed my colors to my mast. I am an Xbox man. I'm not going for PlayStation anymore. No.
All right. That's great and all, but it's not 2004 anymore.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Grow up, get both consoles, and stop being a jab end.
Get a PS4, get a copy of The Last of Us, get a copy of Uncharted 4, get a copy of the remastered Shadow of the Colossus, and have fun.
So good.
Yes, exactly.
Get a copy of The Last Guardian if you want to flagellate yourself.
Well, let's. It says Phil Crocker says, "How can one human have 3 Xbox Ones?" It was right. I got one for Christmas. Then I won one, and then my missus got me the
Geek Pride competition.
And the Geek Pride, no, it wasn't. I don't keep Geek Pride stuff.
It looks like
I don't keep Geek Pride stuff.
Is a winner. Well done.
In my defense, I don't keep any Geek Pride stuff. I think there's 2 things in 5-6 years of Geek Pride that I've kept, and that is a Halo figure which is standing up there.
Hey, full of shit you've stolen. Look at it.
No.
Beast.
These my Lord of the Rings figures that I've been collecting since 2000, way before Geek Pride happened. Anyways, yeah, so I got one for Christmas. I won one, and my girlfriend got me the new version of her. So I got 3s, which is good because if I have Halo parties and stuff, which we do.
Who's having that? It's not 2004 anymore. So you've got to grow up. You can't Halo parties.
How many Halo parties?
Whoa!
Playing
Halo parties are amazing. You've never had a party until you've had a Halo party. All right, you get four Xboxes, 4 TVs, all doing battle. I was very upset with the last Halo because there was no split screen, so you couldn't get your mates round and sit there and enjoy a good Halo night.
I'll tell you what's a really like an underrated game. It's an indie game, but it's available on all consoles. It's a game called Screen Cheat. Have you guys heard of this?
No.
Okay, so Screen Cheat is a it's a cooperative, or it's not. It doesn't have to be cooperative. It's a multiplayer game, but the idea is you're all invisible. So it's a first-person shooter. It's split screen, and the reason it's called Screen Cheat is because you've got to look where they are, like where your opponents are, where they're moving, based on like what they can see around them, and then try and kill them. And it's brilliant. It's completely bonkers. It's like the same kind of weird weaponry as like the Time Splitters series, and it's really fun. It's super cheap. It's probably going to be like 11-12 quid on Xbox or PlayStation, but yeah, I whenever I play it, I have a blast. On the rare occasion I have people over, it's super fun.
Yeah, the thing is, there's something to be said about gaming with people around you and stuff. Now online gaming, as much as I don't mind it, now you've got like sort of Discord and Skype and things like that, so you can sort of kind of play together. But there's something about having a bunch of your mates, loads of booze, some food and stuff, and literally just them there and sort of just taking the piss out of each other and stuff. It's brilliant. Like literally, I've never had better sort of times on my Xbox than when I've had Halo parties and stuff. You've got 16 of your mates there. They're all boozed up and generally getting angry because they're not winning, and it's amazing. Love it.
Great game of soggy biscuit at the end, and everyone's the winner.
Yeah.
No, you're right. I mean, I think modern gaming does miss that sort of the party gaming, back in the sort of the PS2 and the Xbox 360 sort of days. I mean, it was great. Sorry, actually, back even to the N64. We would have had sort of GoldenEye parties and stuff, which would have been always a good laugh.
Well,
but
yeah, it's like
I think it has lost a lot of it, but at the same time, I don't know. It's for me, I have like a group of sort of core friends in the on PlayStation, and we'll just play. Like the big one at the minute is the Friday the 13th game.
Yeah,
I'm playing a lot of, and it's just so much fun. You grab the 8 of us together, and you could endlessly play that for hours on end. Really, really good. I would love to. I would love to get I'm thinking very seriously about getting a gaming PC again, just so I can play PUBG.
Yeah,
I know it's not a great game. I know there's a lot of fault with it, but just seeing and hearing other people play it, it just seems like such a good laugh, and I really want to get back into it. It is.
It's exactly what I was going to say. Like, you can have all your friends getting drunk and have your pizza and malarkey, but there's nothing quite like playing with 100 other people while you're in your pants, being killed and being told your mum's a slag by a 15-year-old Korean girl.
Yeah, I've only played it a few times. I actually played a few games with you, Mike, and it's just like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, and then you're just sort of freaking out because you're just like, I gotta fucking.
That's the point.
Yeah, it's a enjoyable. It's a really enjoyable game. It really is. I've enjoyed it. I watched Stone Mountain 64 play it quite a lot.
Yeah, he's good.
He's quite amusing. So yeah, I watch him playing quite well.
Excellent.
All right, so PlayStation, they win. So next up, it is the best AAA game. Now this was a bit of a surprise for me because considering Nintendo didn't even get a look in for best console, Breath of the Wild was best game.
Yeah, well, Breath of the Wild actually outsold copies of the game outsold the actual console. It was absolutely it was an absolute explosion. Having played. I stayed around a friend's house a while ago, and I sunk about 6 hours into the game. I just didn't go to sleep. I just stayed up all night and played it, and yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. I've watched. It's one of the only playthroughs of a game I haven't played that I've sat and watched a let's play of, just to get as much of the game in my eyes as I possibly could. And it's absolutely fantastic. And as an avid Zelda fan, I think it does the series justice.
Yeah, I've never heard a bad thing about it. Not having ever played a Zelda game in my life, but the guy next to me at work, I've never played a Zelda game in my life.
Wow. You're missing out big time. I mean, Jesus, Ocarina of Time. Link to the Past.
Ocarina of Time is still the best game of all time.
Yeah. So yeah, we had that with 24 0.1%. I think Horizon Zero Dawn only managed 17%.
Oh, is
Right
that
to
another
ask.
PlayStation exclusive?
Well, that's it. I'm not dissing that PlayStation have a lot more exclusives. They do. I know. That's why I've been playing my PC quite a lot more than my Xbox.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. One of these
Horizon
days.
is
One of these days.
Yeah, Horizon is absolutely a beautiful game. Absolutely beautiful. I missed it at the start of the year because it was still sort of midway through second playthrough of Wild Hunt. So I'd sort of kind of put it to one side. I thought I'll get to it at some stage. Got it just before Christmas and played it constantly. Platinumed it. Absolutely adored it. I know obviously Breath of the Wild is going to have the obviously with a game like Breath of the Wild coming out and even the Mario game, Mario Odyssey, which looked incredible as well.
Yeah, man.
I think it was always going to be sort of forgotten about, but it's just Horizon, just a beautiful game. And for the fact that it came from the same studio who, made the Killzone games and had no experience of a third person sandbox sort of game, it's incredible as their first pass of that.
Do you know what used to really annoy me about Killzone when I did play PlayStation back in the PlayStation 2 days is that you couldn't jump. Really frustrated me. It's just like I'm running around. I can't fucking get over this sandbag. You have to do this like leap thing, and I was like, wait a minute, so I can't fucking jump. I was just like, fuck this game. It's like
I haven't played. I remember you bought me Killzone, didn't you, for like my birthday one year?
Yeah, I think I did.
On the PS2. On the PS2. I really enjoyed it, but I've never played another Killzone game ever again. That was okay.
Okay, next up, top tabletop game. Obviously Warhammer 40,000 8th edition got a big in, but close up with Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition.
It's good.
And Exploding Kittens came out of nowhere. Not really a sort of main sort of tabletop game, but people seem to love that game, and I have to be honest, I love that game. Exploding Kittens is a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah,
it's fun. Yeah. Card game. I have to thank you, Mike, because I was never into card games. Those sort of card games like Munchkin and things like. And when you introduced me to Resistance, which is possibly one of my favorite games ever now, because I literally love
also
that
known
game.
as How to Lose All Your Friends in an afternoon.
It's become a family game now. I bring it home with me.
Really?
Yeah. My mum plays
That's amazing.
My mum plays
Oh my God.
Shit. It's hilarious.
That's
man.
brilliant.
But she doesn't know what's going on, so she's like, she's sitting there, kind of thinking she's the spy when she's not, and making massive mistakes, and throwing in this massive X factor because people are just like, "What the fuck just happened?" And we had my girlfriend playing and stuff, and she's not a very good liar, so she was like proper just giving it away. It's brilliant. Love that game, and it's better when you got a load of people and they're drunk and they're just getting angry with each other.
D&D 5th edition. I've been playing a D&D campaign for just over a year now, however long that's been out, really. I've only got one gripe, and it's that the Paladin doesn't have Holy Lance sort of straight off the bat. That's really nerdy and
Holy
annoying.
Lance, or another word, penis.
No,
Penis.
stop it. Stop it.
There's somebody, is it Daniel? Dino
Morris?
Morris?
Dino Morris.
He wants to see your dog,
Show
Michael.
us your dog, Mike.
Dog.
Oh yes, that's right. You've got a dog now.
If he'll come up, I will. Come on, come here. I mean, you could just watch my channel if you wanted to see my dog. All right, come here. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is Dave.
Ah, what an awesome name.
Hey, Dave.
Hey, Dave. Meet Dave.
You alright? You having a good time?
So
you're on the internet now. He knows this anyway. Like he regularly features on my channel.
So what?
Who's sending angry reacts? Who sent an angry react at my fucking dog? Show me. Fucking name yourself now, and I will fight you. I'll fight you. The fuck angry reacted my dog, my beautiful dog. He's my boy.
Dave. So what? When did you get the dog? When did you get Dave?
December 22nd. He came into my life.
And what age is he? Tell us a bit about him.
Well, he likes long walks on the beach, and he's a recovering alcoholic.
Coladas in the rain.
He's my best mate's mum's dog. he about 5 years ago he was quite horrendously attacked by another dog, and it really sort of messed him up. So he went to go and live with her mum. Her mum's slightly older, so couldn't take. He pulls quite hard on the lead, as I'm sure you can imagine. Couldn't really take him for walks, so he was kind of under-socialed and became a bit of a weird nan kid. And then she moved from Birmingham to Brighton and didn't have space for him. And I was like, well, I've got a garden, and now he lives with me, and we spend nights together watching films, and I tell him all my problems. That's good. Seems to listen to me. That's always nice. Yeah, I love having a dog. It's the best thing. I've wanted a dog since forever. And in my last relationship, my ex had actually lied about the fact that we were allowed a dog. She just didn't want a dog with her cat, and had lied to me for a couple of years until I went to the lettings and was like, can we have a dog? And they're like, yeah, there's a small one. I was like, oh. So I came home all excited, and she was like, nah, you can't.
Damn you, woman!
Which kind of spelt the beginning of the end. But yeah, like, he's amazing. There's dogs have, like, without trying to get like too emotional, because I'll probably start crying, and it's not a Geek Pride podcast until I start getting emotional. But like, having something there that loves you completely unconditionally, and you come home and it doesn't matter what kind of fucking day you had, and someone's there and excited to see you, and they just want to love you and spend time with you, and it's glorious. It's glorious. I can be in the shittest mood, and I just look down at him, and we do this thing where I look at him, he looks at me, then his tail starts going boom, 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 and then he'll like run over and kiss me, and it's glorious. It's fucking brilliant. I love having a dog.
Dogs are a bit more emotionally available, whereas cats are just like, I'm hungry. So, I'll be nice to you for a bit. When I've fed you, I'm just going to fuck off. Whereas dogs are like, I am so happy you're home right now. I'm so happy to see you. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm a massive dog fan as well. Love dogs.
Yeah. They're just more like, they're just more visceral. Like, and I don't mean that in the extreme sense. Obviously, he's not like trying to rip my throat out or anything. But like, just like, if a dog wants your attention, then you're going to have a big black motherfucker jumping on your bed and headbutting you and licking you in the ear, and it's like, oh, you need attention now. Okay, fair enough. Whereas a cat's just gonna, piss on something or scratch the curtains down and act out and all that kind of bullshit. And I had a cat and it left me, but he's not left me yet, so he wins, unfortunately.
Like, I love my cats. They're characters, but my brother's got a Bernese mountain dog, and it's a beautiful dog called Nanook. We used to have golden retrievers growing up, and they've always lovely natured dogs. And I want like a Newfoundland or a Leonberger or a Caucasian mountain dog. I just want a bear of a dog that I can wrestle with. Like, there was an Irish wolfhound when I was in Great Yarmouth, and it was huge. It was like a horse. I honestly could have sat in that thing. It was that big, and I was just like, I just want a big ass dog that I can come home and just go wrestle with it, and it's like, it's happy I'm there and stuff. Love dogs. Love them.
Michelle Buckingham said you don't know love till you've hugged a chicken. I hugged a chicken, and then 3 months later it died. So
Jesus Christ.
I might
talking about chicken. You seen this thing KFC? They're like closing.
The chicken.
Let me tell you, I was personally affected, ladies and gentlemen, because I was on my way to a gig in Sittingbourne. For those of you who don't know, Sittingbourne's a complete shithole, and I fancied some chicken, so I drove to like my local one, which is a little bit out of the way of where I should go to get to the gig, and then there was a queue literally like half a mile up the road for KFC. I was like, what the fuck? And apparently they were like rationing out chicken. So you were like, I'll have a 10-piece bargain bucket. You're like, no, you will have a 6-piece bargain bucket.
That's amazing, glorious. Man. That's amazing. It's like you can just see them all in this long, like this bread line, but it's a chicken line. They're all got those like Russian hats on and stuff, smoking cigarettes.
You just got the theme from Papers, Please. Dom, 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 dom. Yeah, and then I actually drove to the Mike knows Kung Fu. I do know Kung Fu. Yeah, and then I went to Sittingbourne because I was like, oh, well, they've got a KFC, and it's only literally around the corner from the gig. I'll go here. And then it was all cordoned off, and I'm like, what is going on? I just want chicken. So I went and got some chicken nuggets from McDonald's, but it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same. It's bullshit. And yeah, now there's like most of the restaurants have closed down. Oh my God, this KFC thing has fucked my daughter's birthday party. My goddaughter's birthday party is fucked because of KFC. Right, it's now become personal. This becomes some kind of action movie.
I remember going to a KFC once. Like, it was like 10 in the evening. I think they closed at like 11 or something. No, sorry, it was like 9:30. It's like, oh, I've got plenty of time. Got to the KFC in Denton Rock, turned up, and they're like, yeah, we've got no chicken. I was like, but that's all you do. All you do is chicken.
That's your fucking job. It's on the top. It's right there on the sign.
It's just chicken. And he's like, yeah, we don't have any chicken. And I was like, why the fuck are you still open then? And he's like, you can have fries and milkshakes and stuff. I said, why the fuck would I want that? I want chicken. And it's like, right, fine, I'll leave. And I was just like, Jesus Christ. It's like... the only thing they do, and they're not even doing it. It's like, fuck me. All right, anyway, moving on. So some major...
I was surprised by this one. I was surprised.
Yeah. So best film. We got Logan first, with 20% of the vote. Now this was quite a close one between them, and to be honest, Logan did give me a bit of dust in the eye. I did really enjoy it. Not sure if I would say it was my favorite film of the year, though.
No.
I watched that film with my friend was going away to Korea like the next day, and we were like, should we go and watch a film like to celebrate like friendship and stuff? And we started watching it, and it's like fucking goodbye, old friend. Shit. I'm sat next to him, and I turned to him, and he turned to me, and we're both like. We walked out, and I was like, "Yeah, it's a good film, mate. Yeah, it's good."
Yeah, totes, man. Whereabouts in South Korea is it? Because obviously we've got a friend over there teaches. We were in South Korea last year.
No, it was 2 years ago, wasn't it?
2 years ago.
He's in Seoul.
Yeah,
In Seoul. Okay.
In Seoul.
Yeah. Nice place. Smells like shit, but nice place. I'm not even lying, man. It does. Yeah. It smells like shit. Did. Yeah. Like
beautiful though.
I am outraged that John Wick 2 didn't get a mention because John Wick 2 was a perfect...
Oh yes, John Wick's fucking amazing. Yeah. I watched the first one, not thinking much of it. Went, that has to be one of the best action films I've ever seen in my life. And then
I've ever cried. I bet you can guess why.
Yeah. And then it's just like the second one. There's going to be a third one as well, and I just amazing.
It's going to be so good. It's going to be so good.
There's like I was thinking about this, and this is another sort of what's the word? Diversion. When you go off topic, off topic, whatever,
A Mike Orvis.
Yeah, Mike Orvis. Yeah, this is a bit of a Mike Orvis. So we're off topic, but I was thinking about sort of the sort of universe that John Wick lives in. Yeah, and I sort of had this sort of view that John Wick is in sort of like a modern feudal system where the Continental is effectively where the king. What's the name of who's the guy who runs the Continental? Ian McShane, his character. Yeah. He's like the king, and that John Wick, the assassins, are like the knights, and that the human, the people who are around them, they just accept this stuff happens, and because that's just what they're meant to do, because like when they're running around shooting guns and stuff, nobody calls the police really. That that one police guy turns up, you working again, John? Yeah. And that's it. And there has to be some underlying sort of thing, like the point in the second one where he does something with his phone, and then everybody stops and looks at him, and then disperses. And it's just like, well, he's in charge, so he's like the king, and then maybe this is it's like a feudal system in a way, and like they're the knights, and it's like, it must be
like feudal Japan.
Feudal
Japan with the shogun.
Yeah, Lovejoy. Yeah, Lovejoy.
Like feudal Japan with the shogun and the samurai.
Yeah, so that's where it's sort of kind of reminiscent of, and I was trying to think about it. It's just like, because there's a bit in it where in the second one they're literally, they're fighting on a train, and he stabs him. Nobody does anything. They're shooting at each other. There's bloody mess everywhere, and people are just sort of kind of tottling by and not really thinking much of it. And I think there's like this sort of like honor system. As long as you're not killing innocent people, then there's no issue. If you're killing assassins and people who deserve it, then obviously that's where their problem comes in and stuff. But yeah, I was thinking about sort of kind of writing down a sort of like a background sort of kind of world to it and stuff, where it came from, but I couldn't really sort of articulate myself very well with it, so I didn't.
Do you think that John Wick is going to be the next type of, it's going to influence the next 5 or 6 years worth of action films in the same way that the Bourne movies did? The way like before
Blonde came out at about the same time, didn't it? And that seemed to be kind of inspired. It's kind of comic book action films. I wouldn't be surprised if they redid Wanted.
If
they reshot it.
The Wanted ones, to be honest,
dude, the comic is so fucking good. It's so good, and it's got the bravest end to a comic book I've ever read. Like the end of Wanted in the comics. Spoilers, but it came out more than 10 years ago, so fucking read it. Is that he talks about how he's the bad guy of the story, but who's the real bad guy, because you're the person that's reading the comic, and when you put it down, it's going to be a story just like anything else that filled a tiny void in your life because you're desperately trying to distract yourself from the pointlessness of your existence. And then like the final panel is like, this is me fucking you. And you're like, what the fuck? It's brutal.
Nice.
But yeah, really clever. Just like meta commentary of like, why are you even reading this story? In fact, hang on, I've got it. I don't want to paraphrase.
Just while Phil Cochran says there's going to be a John Wick TV show on Netflix soon, which I do believe is going to happen. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Is Thingy going to be there?
I'm not sure if Keanu Reeves is going to be involved or not, but I guess they could flesh out the sort of the world a bit more. Other assassins and stuff.
I don't mind. I mean, I think the standard of TV shows now is such a high quality. I mean, you look at Netflix or Hulu or what Amazon does. So to be honest, the transition from a film to a TV show doesn't bother me. The one thing it does is when they try to transition it over, but they just think, oh fuck it, we don't need stars, so we'll just group in some randomer and they can take over the part, like they've done with is there the Taken one that's just come out, or what they've done with the Lethal Weapon TV show, or just thinking of, if they're going to do that, I don't know. I think if it comes out and it's adapted to a TV show, right, first of all, in the first instance, that's great. But I think if you're just transitioning from a film and you don't continue over with the original stars, it just doesn't really have the same impact.
Yeah.
It's apparently Keanu Reeves Phil says, Keanu Reeves is supposed to show up in the first episode. But that's it.
Good. A handoff. How very
There's
exciting.
not John Wick, though?
So it's going to be like, what's it called? What was the film with Limitless? Is it Limitless? Is that the film?
Oh shit, yeah.
And they had a series, which actually was quite good, to be honest, because he turned up now and again. But on its own, it got cancelled, which is a shame. It was like that that other one, Being Human, was it? Not, or it was the one about the names. Guy played Judge Dredd.
Carl Urban.
Carl Urban, yeah, it was Carl Urban, and he had he basically had a cyborg, not a cyborg, a robot sort of.
Yeah, I know which one you mean. I can't remember the name.
Yeah, it was something like Being Human or Too Human or something along those lines. I enjoyed that. It got cancelled for a series, which is annoying. I hate that when you enjoy something, you're like, yeah, there's no other series.
Do you not think there's too many shows coming out at the minute? Do you not think that there's too many of these shows that
man. I have literally gone through all of Netflix at the minute. I've watched everything, I think.
Have you watched all of Power Rangers?
No, because I watched that shit when I was a kid, man.
Wow.
Well, I watched all the main sort of documentaries and all the main sort of kind of films. I'm semi. The only thing I'm not super excited about is the Black Lightning, where I'm on episode 3 or 4 or something, and it's not really doing much for me at this moment in time.
I just think I don't know, for me, I just think there's too many shows. Like, every other week there's a new TV show, there's a new show starting, whether it's on, Netflix or Hulu, or it's even on Sky. I'm lucky if I maybe get to watch one or two episodes of them. Like Alter Carbon's perfect example. I watched the first two episodes, really enjoyed it, and then my girlfriend, who just sleeps weird sort of hours, sat and watched the rest of the series without me. And I just got to the point where I was like, well, I'll go back to it at some stage and I'll watch it. And then the next thing I'll forget, and then there'll be another show that'll come along and I'll watch it. And there's so many shows that have started but not finished, like Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, The Defenders. There's so many shows that have started, and it just seems to be every week there's a new sci-fi or action TV show that I just don't have the time to watch.
Per Dave. That's what I do. I just sit there and I make models and I watch these TV programs and stuff, and that's what I do. It's either that or I have to watch Coronation Street with my missus, and that just doesn't go down very well. I really do not want to watch Coronation Street.
I don't know. All I seem to be doing at the minute is just either working, gaming, or I'll try to watch some sort of TV show, but I'll not be able to decide what I want to watch. So I'll watch shitty old horror films, or I'll watch like a couple, like the Eurogamer live stream of like PUBG. That's normally my viewing before I fall asleep at 9 o'clock.
Same, dude. I just watch Let's Play series over and over again. Like if it's not Game Grumps, it's IGN. If it's not IGN, occasionally I watch some Jim Sterling stuff, some Yogscast. Sometimes Markiplier when he's not just yelling at the camera. But yeah, I'll watch like long play of games, and I'll drift off and then wake up in the middle of the night halfway through a game and be like, oh, cool, okay, time to close the laptop and go to sleep.
Right, let's pile through these quickly because we're going on the hour and we don't want to overdo it too much. So okay, let Logan. Okay, not a good winner, though surprising. I think there was some other good ones that should have been on there. Best publisher for comics, Marvel, which I think was more to do with the films than to do with the
complete and utter horseshit. Yeah. Complete and utter horseshit. Like it's renowned that Marvel don't know what the fuck they're doing with their comics at the minute. I was astounded that people who you proclaim, you lot, that you're geeks. They're fucking, what is this Marvel bullshit? Like, the comics are bad.
I think it's more the popularity contest. It was just the films are big, and it's like, Marvel.
I'll get Captain America t-shirt in Primark or Marvel. Yeah, they're the best comics. Fucking read. Have a read of something.
Best. That being said.
Sorry, just while. Oh, go ahead, Matt. Sorry.
No, you fire away.
I was going to say, just while we're talking about comics, I have to show this. I got this on Saturday. It's the 30th anniversary edition of the original Aliens comic.
Yes.
They just brought out this mini. It is absolutely beautiful. All on card. The first book that came out directly as the direct sequel from Aliens.
Nice.
I didn't know this was coming out. It is absolutely beautiful. It's only £10.
Nice.
Bargain. Absolute bargain. But anyway, sorry.
So, best comic book graphic novel was the Darth Vader series, which actually is really good. Out of the small amount of comics I have read, the Darth Vader ones are really good. Now, one of their best things is where he's on, I can't remember what planet it was, and he's standing there, and he's like, you are surrounded, and all he says is like, all I'm surrounded by is fear and dead men. I was like, that's fucking amazing! What an amazing line! And
Vader's got some fucking lines in that run. I've got all the single issues, and it's the tits.
Definitely worth it. Obviously we got the Mighty Thor came second, Batman White Knight, and then Saga third. With
fucking love Saga. I literally wrote a song about Alana. So
yeah. Best book, which was a bit of a weird one. Considering it's not really a new book, has been out for quite a while. Murder on the Orient Express, and I thought this was just because there wasn't a lot of people who voted, but there was a good 200 people voted for this, and it was like, well, I don't know, maybe because of the film came out.
Yeah, I was gonna say on the back of the film.
Yeah, possibly.
It was really good as well.
So you have Book of Dust, which is second. I've not heard of it, so I'm not sure. And then Master of Mankind, which is one of the Horus Heresy books, which is an amazing book. But Murder on the Orient Express, yeah, so that was strange. But yeah, there you go. The film's actually pretty good, so there you go. Best YouTube channel, obviously our good friends at Sneaky Zebra.
Fucking Sneaky Zebra, right? I love Sneaky Zebra, right? But I've got a small comment to make, and like no, I've got a lot of time for Nick. Nick's awesome, and we chat occasionally. I don't think Gary likes me very much. I don't know what I've done, but he doesn't seem to like me very much. But what I'm finding interesting with Gary, because like I use the we as Geek Pride. You know, we saw these guys, you know, start out as a relatively small channel and then kind of skyrocket to the stardom that, you know, the best friends with Nerdist kind of thing that they're doing now. But what I'm finding really amusing is if you're watching the progression, and specifically of Gary's accent, go from like, hello, I'm your mate Gary, to turning into like this weird like Kelly Osbourne LA thing the more he spends time in the UK, in the US. And I noticed it so badly on their latest Kickstarter. I was just like, what's happened?
I haven't noticed it, but I think I'm going to notice it now.
You are totally going to notice it now. It's the tease. It's the tease. You'll notice that when English people go to America, they start pronouncing their T's as D's.
I think he says sneaky zebra now instead of zebra. Though he does.
Of course he does.
Sometimes he says zebra and zebra. But yeah, but if you spend a lot of time in LA, I guess that's
of course. Like, there's no harm. Like, I don't mean that with any sense of malice. Like, it's just something that I picked up and I went, oh fuck, no, I can't unsee it. And now, anyone listening to this, Gary, I'll talk to me when I see you, please. You're a lovely chat.
Do you know what he is? I don't think it's personal, because I got the impression I think he's just quite an insular sort of type guy, and he actually
keeps an enigma.
Yeah, he keeps himself to himself. When you're talking away to him, he's, you know, and he gets to know you and stuff. You know, we got to know each other really well when we were in San Diego together and stuff. And you know, he's just one of those guys. When you get to know him, he talks a bit more, and he's more out there. If he doesn't know you very well, then obviously he's a bit more quiet.
Like, I made a massive effort at, like, I think it was an LFCC, and we were all at a pub. And I walked over and I was like, "Hey, dude, how's it going?" And he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh, cool. How was your journey?" It's like, "Yeah, it was really long. It took me a while to get here." I'm like, "Cool, man. Well, like, I'll see you around." And then I went over and hung out with like the cosplay photographers, because for a weekend I was in with that crowd for literally no reason other than I just started going, "You're all stupid, and what you do is really lame." And they're like, "Oh, I love this guy. This guy just like rips it out of us." And I'm like, this is ridiculous. All of this is ridiculous. They're like, "Ha, yeah, man. He tells it like it is."
Well, I haven't got to that section yet, Michael. You can talk about cosplay when we get to that section.
Oh, fucking. Right. So, how long you got?
Yes, second and third, mini wargaming and Beasts of War. So obviously quite a lot of sort of tabletop gamers were voted in this. So yeah, those are two channels I watch. Mini wargaming is quite good. Best convention, obviously Michael doesn't do conventions, so probably didn't vote. So MCM London. Obviously my only issue about this one is this is obviously UK centric with the voting. Absolutely. Because San Diego Comic-Con came joint with Manchester. It's like, as much as I love Manchester, it's definitely nothing on San Diego Comic-Con at all. But yeah, so MCM Manchester for con. Best cosplayer, your favorite section, Michael?
This isn't even my favorite section. It's amateur cosplayer.
Okay, yeah. So Jessica Negri won. It was actually
a shock.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, do you know what? Actually, for a long time, Maul cosplay, who's I think he's German or Austrian or something along those lines. Possibly, I could be completely wrong.
If you're German or Austrian, you probably shouldn't dress up as a Sith. Yeah. Like, I'm just saying, like, just probably best not dress up like a villain clad all in black.
No, he does a lot of Witcher stuff. He's very good. Right. He does a lot of stuff, and he does a lot of Witcher stuff. He was winning for a long time, and then obviously something happened, and Jessica Negri
he was actually on. If you ever watch, I'd say, talking about the previous one about channels. Don't know if anyone watches any No Clip.
Yep.
The guy, it's Danny O'Dwyer from GameSpot, who does like these incredible documentaries about different games. He did a Q&A with CD Projekt Red, and the guy that cosplayer was actually out in the crowd with the microphone as guys were, people were asking questions. And his cosplay is incredible, I have to say.
Yeah, so it was just because obviously women dominate cosplay. Because
why is that?
Yeah, we're not going to get into that, Michael. As being
I'm
three men, we cannot make conversation about that without
where did Julietta come?
She came joint 4th, I think, with Tabitha. Her and Tabs came 4th. So yeah, our very own Julietta came 4th. Best indie game, Cuphead Cuphead for the win.
God, Cuphead's such a good fucking game.
Yeah. PUBG came 2nd. It was.
Yeah.
And then we had Stonehearth for number
Never
3.
heard of it.
Yeah, me either.
Where?
Best indie gaming store, Level
Right,
Up Games.
so I got into a bit of trouble with this, Matthew, right? Because of the way you've worded this makes it sound like it's a bad thing that they won.
What?
Yeah, you wrote, not a lot of nominations in this category, but those were involved fought hard. Unfortunately, Level Up Games got the high score and ran away with victory on a crushing 52.1% of the vote.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So
Oops.
I didn't see that, and I just sent them. I was scrolling on my phone and went, Level Up Games won. Sent it to Level Up, and they were like, we didn't even know we were in the running. Apparently, it's unfortunate. I was like, what? And then I read it. I was like, I am so sorry.
I think it should have been fortunately. Just Matt's, yeah. I may have to change that.
If you're in Canterbury or the surrounding areas, please go to Level Up Games. Alex and his wife are incredible. They run this little mum and pop store where they sell loads of secondhand games. You'll find absolute gems in there for really great prices. They are absolutely, and they're the best people to talk to as well. So yeah, head down to Level Up Games. And I will receive my check in the post. Thanks.
Apologies for my typo. Do you know what it is? Because I use the word unfortunately in my reports and work and stuff, and it's obviously on the brain. So I've said instead of saying fortunately or whatever. I don't know why it's come out, but it's not. It's not meant to be an insult. I'm sorry. I'll get it changed. Best indie tabletop game. We got Joking Hazard, which is the Cyanide and Happiness card game. Not played it. Don't know, but I've been told it's very good. Unfortunately, our very own Bevan Clapworthy's Ghost Tale didn't rank, and he
fucking shoulda. It's a great game,
which is a shame. It was a good game. Then we had Best Indie Comic Graphic Novel. Our friends at T-Pub, Twisted Dark. So yeah, they were very happy with that.
Neil Gibson, you sly bastard.
Yeah, they had a pretty. They got 63%.
Nice,
which is rather massive. With Monsters and Torso Bear. Your
Torso
that's
Bear.
A
nice comic. I think everyone should read Torso Bear.
Number 3. There's a lot of sort of connections with Mr. Orvis in these ones.
There's a lot. There's like 2. I went to that store one time, but then if we're going to say that, I've played Cuphead for my channel. I saw Jessica Negri one time and said hello. I've been to MCM. I've spoken to the Sneaky Zebra. I didn't commit a murder.
It's all a conspiracy.
It's all Orvis. I am the Dark Lord. I haven't got fucking time to be the Dark Lord behind all.
It's kind of like, what's it like, the 5 degrees of separation, but with Mike Orvis.
I bet you could.
Okay, Mike's favorite section then. So amateur cosplayer. Now the winner, Exeter cosplay. He does Space Marine stuff, and he does Chaos Marine. Amazing costume. It's fucking huge, massive. But yeah, and then we had Kenny cosplay stuff for second, and Invisible Girl for third.
Do you know what's well annoying?
Don't say cosplayers.
You know what's well annoying? Cosplayers. That's true. But what's well annoying is that I'm working on a stage outfit for my band Glitterwolf, and I've had to look up fucking cosplay video because I want to stick bits of fabric on bits of fabric.
Oh, Mike, there you go.
And I'm like. And I first started out, I'm like, how to do this? And then it's like, no, cosplay. And I was like, no, I'm going to ignore that and look at a professional doing it. And then I was like, fuck, professionals are doing it for fucking cosplay. So I have to sit there occasionally and watch, hi guys, welcome to my cosplay channel. And I'm like, kill me. Just kill me. I just want to know how to glue stuff onto leather. Please just tell me how to do that. But I'm not joining
a bitter, beardy man with no joy in his heart.
I have plenty of joy. I'm in an 80s pop band.
Mate, that video you did for the release was hilarious by the fire.
Thank you.
Very good.
That was fun.
For anybody who's listening, watching at this moment in time, try give Glitter Wolf a go. You're on iTunes and Spotify and all that.
Yeah,
junk.
we're everywhere. Yeah. Check us
Very
out.
good. I got the album. Very good. Very good.
Out now.
By the way, you were talking about the Gummy Bears theme tune or something. I've listened to your. I didn't get it. I don't. What? Which one is it?
What's Gummy? But no, the raccoons.
Raccoons. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't even know raccoons.
Yeah, Run With Us. It's the last track.
Yes.
Mm.
So best up and coming YouTube channel. No, it was a hard fight. Unfortunately, Mr. Orvis, Beardy No Mates came second.
Yeah, I mean that's about right, isn't it? Really, he plays games. He's got no friends, so I didn't have friends to vote for me. That's fine.
And the Historical Gamer came first, which I've never heard of the guy, so he's coming out of nowhere. But yeah, it's good that you came second, Mike. You know.
Yeah, I'm very grateful. Thank you. I don't know how many people voted, but probably more than I've got subscribers. So thank you very much. But also subscribe to my fucking channel.
And finally, just the worst. Obviously, was going to be Donald Trump. Logan Paul came second, and EA came third. So yeah, you basically had the worst of the worst there, ladies and gentlemen.
What a bunch of bunts.
Yeah. So if you want to check that out, it's on the website. All the graphs or the pie charts with all the different sort of breakdowns are on there if you want to have a look. But yeah, that was our best of 2017. Actually, we got a lot more votes than I thought we would. I thought it was just going to be 10 people or something, and it was just going to be a bit of a write-off. But yeah, we got 300. I think 300 odd people voted and stuff, which is good for us. So there you go. Good for us. Pat on the back. There you go. Okay, so does anybody want to talk about anything else before we shoot on? Because we've been on for about an hour and 10. So
everybody play Warframe. If you liked Destiny and you got tired of Destiny, if you like any sort of MMO, play Warframe. It's like popping your ult in Destiny, but that's the entire game. It's a bit of a grind to start with, but the controls are so fluid and you're killing stuff in such a stylistic way that you don't feel like it's a grind. Find someone who knows a little bit more than you do, and discover it. It's one of those games, the more you put in it, the more you're going to get out. And it's a free game, by the way. You can just download it right now and get playing. You don't actually need any money at all. You can trade to get the in-game currency that you need with other players. You can grind, and you can do all of that. I've spent £3.69 on getting some of the in-game currency so that I could quickly buy some colours because I wanted some extra colours. But I've easily sunk more than 20 hours in the last 2 weeks in the game. It's absolutely phenomenal, and you should all check it out.
All right, there we go. Cool. Dave, you got anything you want to talk about before we go?
It's good to be back, really.
It's good to be
back. Genuinely haven't prepared. I've been up to my eyes with work, so actually trying to pay attention to any of the sort of goings on recently has been quite difficult. So it's sort of nice to get back into the swing of it again.
Too busy with Northern Irish politicians going back and forth and them going, I agree, no, I don't agree with you. I don't agree with you.
Jesus. It's sorry, I hate getting into politics because I do work in politics and I hate getting into politics when we're on the podcast. But it's the thing that really has been getting to me over the past few days is the string of English Tories who are suddenly talking down the Good Friday Agreement. What? The Good Friday Agreement, which is basically all of these English Brexit Tories are trying to say that the Good Friday Agreement isn't working and it should be removed.
Yeah, because that's going to work. That's going to really help the country, isn't it? That's Brexit, the gift that keeps on giving.
Exactly. It's the only thing that's keeping the peace in Northern Ireland, to be honest. So, but anyway, politics aside, it's good to get back in the swing of things. I do have an article at the moment, which I'm about halfway through. I'm hoping to have done by the end of the month. I've been getting back into my sort of cheesy comedy horror and my love of terrible comedy horror. So I'm trying the early Peter Jackson, Brain
Brain
Dead, Bad
Dead.
Case,
Meet the Feebles.
Meet the Feebles is another one. Basket Case, Frankenhooker, just trying to get into sort of like
Frankenhooker?
Frankenhooker's so good.
it's absolutely amazing.
Have you seen Rock and Roll Nightmare?
Yes.
Oh, best film. It's an incredible film.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
But I've been really sort of getting back into sort of my, but trying to get back into the swing with some of my articles. So and right up to stuff like Dog Soldiers,
I fucking love
and
that
Return of the
film.
Living Dead 1 and 2 and stuff. So I'm hoping to have that done by the end of the month. It'll be another long-winded article like my usual nonsense.
Standard.
But I mean, yeah,
Standard.
pretty much.
Standard.
But that's me.
Yep, cool. And for me, I've been playing a game called Wolverblade recently. Just did a video review for it. If anybody was around 3 or 4 years ago, we actually did an interview with a guy at Play Expo, and he was like, "Yeah, it's coming out at Christmas," and then it didn't come out for like years. And it's finally out on all platforms, and it's an amazing game, really good, old school sort of hack and slash, but it's like a history Roman type thing going on. You're a Scottish sort of, or a Briton from north of the Hadrian's Wall fighting Romans and stuff. It's a really good game, really enjoying
Britannia, basically.
Yeah, pretty much Britannia. Yeah, it's a really good game. Sort of kind of like Golden Axe meets sort of Streets of Rage sort of thing, but you can literally just hack the fuck out of everything, and you can pick up their heads and throw them at them and stuff. You can impale them on spikes and shit, and you've got those things. You can pick up like the ham joint. This is what I would I got like an emulator thing, and I always it never sort of dawned on me when I was a kid. If you knock over a dustbin and there's a sandwich there, or there's a fucking like ham joint, you don't eat it, do you? It's not you're walking down the street and you knock over a bin and you're like, oh, I'm feeling a bit sort of like peckish. I'm gonna eat that, right? Sorry, I thought
it really reminds me. It really reminds me of. I can't remember what channel it was, but someone was talking about BioShock. Yeah. And the fact that every time when you're picking up food or picking up energy in BioShock, it's always out of bins or in toilets, or there's always an apple in a toilet that you can eat, or like a bottle of whiskey stuck in like out of from a rubbish bin.
Yeah, it's like, why am I eating this shit? It's like, but there you go. So I suppose it's a bit more acceptable when you're sort of a ancient sort of tribal guy instead of you're not Axel from Streets of Rage, who's just like, yeah, I'm kicking the fuck out of these guys and I'm kind of peckish, so I'm going to eat this bin sandwich because that's
speaking of Streets of Rage, and this is a sneaky plug, but there's a synthwave artist called Crusader who's just released Rage of Streets, which is a Streets of Rage synthwave concept album. And I'm a guest vocalist on one of the tracks.
Nice.
It's awesome. Like the whole album is pretty cool. So go and show that some love. And it's called Crusader. It's Crusader Music on most social media platforms. He's French. He's awesome. Very good.
I have probably actually heard some of it because I've went on a real sort of synthwave binge with like Power Glove and Mega Drive and those sort of guys. Oh. Awesome. Oh,
cool. Okay. Well,
Horse the Band.
Sorry?
Do you remember Horse the Band?
Yes.
I don't.
They're sort of like a hardcore / synthwave band, and they had a song. It starts off with like quotes from old like Nintendo films and stuff like that. Like Power Glove and stuff. But
it's the game. Is it the Game Kid? The one with Fred Savage.
Yeah. That's it.
I actually have a did I tell you I actually found a Horse the Band T-shirt on eBay one time and got it for like 20p.
All right, no way.
I still have it somewhere.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, so we're going to leave it there then. So we've been on a bit, and I'm getting a lot of messages from my missus, probably saying, "Why are you not messaging me? Why she's not going to check. She checks on Facebook all the time, but when
she's not watching it, just
not watching it.
Message your loved ones back.
Well, I can't because I'm busy, and that's rude. But yeah, so I better go because there's like 3 that's popped up, and it's going to be increasingly more angry as they go along. as is the case, it's like, what are you doing? Why are you not replying to my message? I'm going to kill you! So, yeah. But yeah, okay. So I've been Matt Geary. He's been David Foy.
See you later.
And he's been Michael Orvis.
Goodbye!
Oh shit, we were going to end with the song thing, weren't we?
Oh yeah.
Shit.
Fuck. All the single ladies, all the single ladies, all the single ladies, all the single ladies, put your hands up. Mike Orvis, BBC News, Rochester.
All right, Dave.
Fantastic. Oh God, you're the best around. No one's ever going to keep you down. David Foy, UTV. Belfast.
Yes, UTV, stick it in there.
BBC NI.
I'm just a poor boy. Nobody loves me. I'm just a poor boy from a poor family, sparing this life from this monstrosity. Matt Geary, GMTV.
TVAM.
You can add little bits of like reports are coming in that he's just a poor boy from a poor family. Yeah, you can grow it. You can. Yeah, it's a thing. Just have fun. Just have fun, kids.
Just have fun. Yeah. All right. So good night, y'all. Thanks a lot.
Oh, I love you.
Bye.